The fuck? Get out! Get out, guys!
What the fuck?
Get out! Who the fuck are you? Whatever, guys.
Yeah? Alright.
Roland, what the fuck up?
Bang energy drink.
Don't look at me.
Bang, if you want to sponsor us.
What are we doing? How long have we been here?
A while.
I can't let you guys
Where the
leave
fuck
just
am I?
yet. I gotta talk
Like,
about...
you gave us a fit, like, how long was that JoJo lecture? Holy shit!
Shut up, Roland. You got...
Is this the power of an enemy stand?
God.
Alright, hello.
Yo! You fall in the pool again?
No, I'm good. Alright, so, yeah. Where do I start?
The beginning.
The beginning. Yeah, so anyway, Mama told me never stop until I bust a nut.
Solid fucking advice.
And that's it. That's not any lecture. Turn the camera off, yo.
Yeah, these are lyrics from the song Hail Mary off the album The Dawn Killuminati, The 7-Day Theory. And this was the final album by the late artist Tupac Shakur. Interesting lyrics. What could they possibly mean? Tyler?
That rap is sending bad messages to the youth.
Roland.
Come.
Semen.
Jackson.
Semen.
Nice.
Shakur.
Vaughn.
I'm still half asleep, dude.
Interesting answers, but what Tupac was really saying here is that his mama told him not to stop something until he finishes.
That's really that's what you took from that fucking.
It's got a good point.
Yeah, so that's the kind of guy Tupac is for like general brief, and now we're gonna get into it. So yeah, here we go. You got SCP-2137, aka the forensic ghost of Tupac Shakur. Ooh man. Woo! So, you know, just the basics, the object class, very interesting story here. Because as you can see, it started off as a Euclid, right?
Yeah.
Made the jump to Keter, and then now it's like Thaumiel. So, for those who missed the first SCP lecture, SCP objects are classified like depending on like ease of containment, and then like so basically how it goes is like the box test. Yeah. Box test.
Yeah.
So like if you place an object in a box and it makes no attempt to escape, no chance for it to escape, it's safe. If you place an object in a box and it's somehow able to escape sometimes, but you're not really sure why or how, and it just kind of does it, Euclid. If you place an object in a box and it breaks out of the box, like actively tries to escape the box and sometimes succeeds, Keter. And yeah, so then you have Thaumiel. Thaumiel is interesting because the object is also the box.
Yeah.
It's a significant jump.
Tupac.
How did Tupac become a box?
Oh man, how did he become a box? So anyway, special containment procedures. When not being used, SCP-2137 is to be kept within a typical electronic 10-digit metal safe in the safe wing of Site-23. There's like a little crossed out section here, like all digital and wireless broadcast media must be kept at least 100 meters away from SCP-2137. This is because they soon found out that its range is like kind of infinite.
Oh, that's good.
So really, so any electronic object in close range is to be like heavily monitored, but there's really nothing they can do in that regard. Ooh. Yeah, so SCP's anomalous effects have no real range limit, and it can like just jump to like any electronic device, kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And those devices, anything near it, should be monitored closely for signs of SCP-2137-1 or SCP-2137-2.
There's more than one thing.
Oh yeah,
Oh god.
So another thing some SCPs have is that if it's like a good example is like I guess the zombie SCP, whatever, I forgot the number, but like the zombie one, the main SCP is like the virus, and then like people that are turned into zombies become instances known as like SCP number -1 and so on. So that's like a general thing for like many SCPs that are like broken into like different parts and shit, different entities comprising one SCP. So yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, SCP-2137-1 and -2. Once a week, 2137 is to be cleaned. All tracks are to be played in succession with special attention paid to the instance of SCP-37-1 that replaces track 7.
Oh.
So the names and situations and anecdotes presented in SCP-1 must be reported to the 2137 Special Community, also known as the Poc Watch.
The Poc Watch?
The Poc Watch.
Fuck me. Oh my god.
And then on the rare occasion that like non-foundation organizations can't address the situation presented in 2137-1, 059 has given authorization to activate MTF 339, aka the Suge Knights, to take any and all measures necessary to reach a resolution to the problem. So, also, important figure, 059, one of the members of the SCP-05 Council. Now, the SCP-05 Council, it's a series of, 13 individuals that are like the highest of, they run the Foundation, essentially, from the shadows. But they're like super secretive. No one really knows who they are, what they look like, or really like what they are, for the most part, because like, it's heavily implied some of them aren't even human. So yeah, they're in charge, the big dogs. 05-9 gave authorization to like, so yeah. Anyway, fast forward a bit. So, at the actual description, so SCP-2137 is a single compact disc copy of the 1995 hip-hop album Me Against the World, produced by late rapper Tupac Shakur. And as you see the little image, it's like reference to like the album art, the album cover. Big funny, big cool. Ooh.
Looks like a Simpsons character.
Fucking villain.
Multiple tests have revealed that the disc itself is perfectly identical to like any other non-anomalous copy of the disc. Same thing goes for the casing and the lining. And then also they found that the disc itself is one of like the first copies printed after like the recording was finished. So that's a fun fact. And like overall, the disc pretty normal, but the anomaly starts when you play it. So it goes through the track list as normal until it reaches number 7. So track number 7 is typically supposed to be the song "Heavy in the Game" featuring Richie Rich, but instead it becomes an instance of 2137-1.
Oh fuck.
So what this anomaly is, it's like spontaneously generated, like never before heard Tupac track.
Oh.
Featuring Tupac himself, even though he's been dead for a good long while, he's on the track. And then not only that, the track addresses like some sort of like crime, essentially like a crime that's about to happen or a crime that already took place. And most of the crimes, most of the time, are like murders. So in the tracks, Tupac describes like the murder, the weapon used, and then after that he goes on to like provide like anecdotal evidence or information that can be used to track down the murderer and bring them to justice.
I see so much where this is going.
This is so fucking cool. The Poc Watch is gonna stop crying.
Oh my god.
Oh, but not only that, he would then proceed to offer like his personal opinion on which prosecutors they should get involved to get the proper the proper punishment for the murderer or the criminal in question. And then, if that's not enough, he recommends taking justice into your own hands and going out for like vigilante justice.
That's great.
Hell yeah. Based.
Best said.
So the main voice on most of these instances is SCP-2137-2, which through audio analysis does appear to be the real Tupac, even though he died in 1996. Not only that, like crimes that are like particularly like violent or like heavy, hard to handle material, he brings on like a guest artist. So this is where it gets even more anomalous, because like at first you have him bringing on like other rappers like Snoop Dogg and Nas, like people he would know in this time like alive. But then where it gets weird is that as like time, like the rapper, so the guest musicians he brings on correlate with like whatever time period that instance is being created.
Whoa.
So at first he has like Snoop Dogg and Nas, but then he starts collabing with like Chris Brown, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, fucking Weezer.
Sing so!
Weezer, Drake.
You look like a Weezer fan. Oh.
I don't have a single Weezer song in my playlist.
Fucking Weezer.
Fucking Weezer. Not only that, so then if an instance of 2137 goes over a crime like a cold case from like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, that also takes effect with artists from those time periods. But where it differs here is that those artists are like in the lead, and then they bring on Tupac as a feature. So like artists like Phil Harris, the Andrews Sisters, Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, the Beatles, like sing a song about how some guy was going around chopping up and dismembering people or some shit. Then they bring on Tupac, who doxes them.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Certified Tupac classic.
And so when contacted, naturally all like the guest artists have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, have no memory of this. So this is just like the disc doing all of this.
What the fuck?
But Tupac is on the disc, right? Yeah.
Like Tupac is on the disc and he's like it's crazy.
Pulling other people's spirits out of their bodies and making them perform or something?
Or just copying their audio signals.
Yeah, just copying their
possibly.
audio and shit just to like dox criminals. So yeah.
And he does it all in like song, right?
In song form. So an example of this we're provided. We got a little sample here. I'm gonna do my best. But like Jeff Reichert out there still stalking the night, killed his brother, 5 strangers with the same damn knife. Now it's not my place to tell you what to do, but I know what I would do if I were you. He hid the blade in a barn off the North 111, already killed 6, don't let him make it 7.
Fucking bomb.
That's fucking
so fucking good!
That's so sick, oh my god.
Fucking cool.
So after like the crimes have been addressed and all guilty parties are brought to light, the SCP creates a new instance of 2137-1, which details a new crime.
Oh, okay.
So, and it just keeps doing this.
That's awesome.
Recovery. SCP-2137 was first recovered from the home of a man named Vaughn Lincoln, who he was arrested for the vigilante slaying of one Michael Ferris, who was later revealed to have been the Ojai Strangler, responsible for 6 murders over the summer of 1996. Now, in his court hearing, Vaughn states that Tupac Shakur told him from beyond to grave that he had to take justice into his own hands because Michael Ferris was already a district attorney. This means that even if he was brought to light, he would have just gotten off scot-free. Not only that, the disc in question the song, the guy brought like the disc to the courthouse and they played the song that told him to kill Michael Ferris. This got the attention of the SCP Foundation, who swooped in, used amnestics on like everybody involved to like wipe their memories, then took the disc, and then they let Vaughn go because he was a pretty cool guy.
Why can't anybody know about SCPs?
They can't know about SCPs because mainly the SCP Foundation is trying to like maintain a sense of like normalcy within the world, because like if you just found out like Tupac is like talking to people from beyond the grave and like telling them to like kill billionaires and shit, it's like or like there's like peanut statues like sliding around breaking people's necks.
Yeah.
The sun can just wake up and decide to melt everyone, then yeah, that's not good. So yeah, that's why like secrecy. But then this whole secrecy kind of doesn't vibe with Tupac, as we will later see. So Addendum 1A, the XK incident.
Oh,
The
no.
XK incident?
Oh, no.
So
Wait,
XK,
I know what this
important
means.
term. Basically, throughout SCP shit, they have like different, I guess,
Scenarios.
code names. Yeah,
for
code names
scenarios.
for like end of the world scenarios. Like there's like ZK, like that sort of thing, and like XK class scenario is like a scenario in which like an anomalous force or entity like just wipes everything out, some shit like that. So
Tupac.
no, we'll get to
Tupac wipes out all white
Tupac fucking chose violence.
Alright.
So yeah, Addendum 1A, the XK incident. So initially, the Foundation responded to this SCP by like they're going like, sure, let's do it. So they like tip off like local law enforcement, all that shit to get criminals arrested. Things are pretty good. But then other people in the Foundation start seeing it impractical, as now like the SCP is like they're sort of like letting the SCP dictate its own terms of containment, and how the SCP has more control over the Foundation than it does the other way around. And people don't like that, so they decide to just sort of just stop addressing the crimes the SCP is like telling them about. So 2 months, everything's fine, until eventually the behavior of like SCP-2137 and like -1 and -2 start changing. And then it's revealed that SCP-2137-2 is actually aware of its containment, as it produces a new song. So here we go again, new song. You say you're about security, but you ain't the good guys. You redact and expunge, man, your silence is lies. You say you're here to protect, yet you're letting killers run free. Don't make me show you how rough this South Law can be. You couldn't stop the beat, so don't start this struggle. You better watch your tone unless you're looking for trouble. Maybe y'all should lay back and let me do my duty. Locked in a drawer, feeling like y'all trying to screw me. You're stepping all up on my destiny. You might not believe I'm the real Pac, but I'm not just a CD. So yeah,
The motherfucker coming for the whole goddamn Foundation.
coming for their fucking
shit.
necks, bro. 059 been real quiet since this drop.
Now I gotta look up what 059 is. Goddamn it.
But yeah, anyway, so this came to light, and they decided to just stop testing altogether, which made things worse as we finally get the XK scenario incident. So after a week of them, they stopped testing. An instance of SCP-2137-1 appeared spontaneously on a YouTube channel of like a data redacted Los Angeles based hip hop station. And in like the hour after it was posted, it was taken down, but it accrued over data expunged views, so it blew up.
Oh yeah.
Like it posted itself on the YouTube.
Which one was -1 again?
Like the song itself.
Yeah. But it changes every time it like comes back, I think, right?
Yeah.
But this time an example of it was posted itself to a YouTube channel.
So yeah,
That's
the
scary.
Foundation. Yeah, so the Foundation immediately hopped on this, started using all sorts of like mimetic agents and shit to like wipe people's memories, tracking down like downloads, taking the downloads down, tracking down the people who downloaded it, wiping their memories, all that shit. They're scrambling right now.
Motherfuckers are crazy.
But yeah. Oh yeah. Also in the video, so like it's just a still image while the song is playing. And the image, it's like a photograph of Tupac Shakur, but he's in his early 40s.
Oh.
This is significant because he died in like his 20s.
Oh.
So he's in his early 40s apparently, and he's wearing like the same outfit as like the Foundation D-class personnel.
Oh.
Oh yeah, also D-class personnel are like the guinea pigs the Foundation uses to like test SCP. So they're like prisoners and shit, supposedly taken from death row and shit, supposedly.
Supposedly. Is that gonna be us if the people find out we're doing this?
So yeah, it's Tupac, early 40s, dressed as a D-class personnel with his middle finger raised. So yeah, just Tupac things.
Fuck you guys.
In this song titled Data Expunged, it's like blanked out on the thing, he focuses on a certain SCP that's not revealed, but he also reveals that it's a Keter class SCP. He reveals its location and then various means in which people can break it free.
Holy
What?
Oh no!
Not only this, he identified several members of the O5 Council by their first name.
That's so
Yo!
Dude's a fucking menace. Fuck you guys. Oh my god.
Tupac off the shit.
So the
bro.
SCP Foundation is scrambling right now to get this under
Yeah,
wraps.
what the fuck?
In the middle of all of this, album titled XK Scenario is released on iTunes from Beyonce Knowles' account. In this album, each song features SCP-2137-2, as well as a variety of guest artists who aren't named, but still, this shit is insane. Not only that, each song in the album focuses on a different Keter class SCP, its location, what it does, how you can set it loose.
What the fuck? So Tupac just randomly was like, yeah, fuck the earth, fuck the earth.
This escalated so fucking quickly.
Yeah, right.
They kept him in a cage and like they treated him like a CD. This is what was gonna
Yeah,
happen.
now he's
bro.
fucking revealing the names of the O5.
Fuck me.
So yeah, this whole XK scenario event is what caused the Foundation to reclassify SCP-2137 from a Euclid to a Keter.
This is a Polion. What are you talking about?
Alright, like this dude just casually, like, just transcended this shit. Like,
He transcended the fucking.
does it reveal how? Like, he did this?
Wait, we'll get to, wait. Time out,
He
my
just
phone's
knows.
ringing. Okay, so this whole XK scenario is what prompts the Foundation to reclassify Tupac from a Euclid to a Keter. I'm just gonna refer to him as Tupac.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. It's Tupac. So anyway. Where was it? Notes. Okay, so yeah, also, this breach sparked, like, heated debate on, like, how to proceed with his containment, and, like, sort of, like, started changing their conceptual understanding of what exactly this SCP is. So, while they're doing that, a new instance of, like, SCP-2137-1 manifests, not through, like, any, like, electronic device, but through the mouth of another SCP in containment as it starts reciting it. Not only that, in the walls of its containment cell, like in totality, is like scribbled like the lyrics, like over like a couple 100,000 times all over the cell of its containment unit.
This is badass, dude.
So here's a little excerpt. Help me find my killers and I'll find yours. Trying not to play the CD, you're starting a war. You don't really want to see me in the flesh. I wouldn't hesitate to put you little nerds to rest. So feel my power. What if I told you that blank blank planned it all? What if the world knew that blankety blank bout to fall? Don't try to play me cause you need me inside. It was the reason blank blank had died. Blank blank I would never let her. Blank blank was set up. Blank self blank to keep his head up. Blank blank 19 and blank blank is not what it seems. I may be rare and I can't be touched. And if you think about a plan, I'ma fuck shit up. You try to hide, but I see it all. And now I'm coming for your head like a Tylenol. You don't want to fall, dressed in black like you can't be seen. I fight alone, I don't need no team. So do your job, cause I'm giving you tips, and put that whole CD in the mix. Biatch.
What the fuck? Did we ever learn who Blankety Blank was?
No, it's all like redacted info.
Yeah.
God damn.
Blankety blank. Oh my god.
Yeah, so anyway, after all this, they reasoned that Tupac was kind of pissed about being ignored because he was actively trying to help out the Foundation by, like, pointing out all these murders and stuff. Oh, also, some of these murders weren't done by people, but, like, other SCPs. So, yeah, he's, like, trying to help them do their job, and they're, like, shutting him out, stuffing him in a drawer and shit. And he doesn't take too kindly to that. Yeah, so after they, like, resumed testing and, like, sending information to, like, local law enforcement, Tupac cools the fuck down and, like, goes back to normal. You play through the thing, it tells you, like, whoa, John Ramos, he lives at 246 Greenwood Drive, and he killed 4 people with a knife. Go stop him, or something like that. It goes back to normal, essentially. And then afterwards, we get, like, the final instance of SCP-2137-1 that directly addresses the Foundation. Here it is. I guess it took time for it to sink in. I'm just glad you understood what I was thinking. I just knew you'd come around, so you see it now. Ain't no need to get upset or even throw down. You know I got the crown. I see it's hard to get some sleep at night. You got a head full of grays and your skin ain't tight. So let's be real, ain't no need to fight it. There's a grander design, I bet you're gonna like it. It's black and white, so don't get caught up in the deep thoughts. You got my music on the side with a greater force. Interesting. So yeah, this prompts sort of like some more investigation as to like why the fuck this is even going on. And then finally, we end this with an email from the site director of 515, Director Dr. Gwen Pristine, to the O5 Council. So in summary, so at this point, SCP-2137 has been in containment for about 30 years. And like because of them like following its advice, this led to the recovery of like over like thousands and thousands of SCPs.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like the mobile task force they have, like depose dictators, topple tyrants, chase down rogue reality benders and shit, and then ultimately led to the arrest of like over 30,000 murderers.
That explains how they find these SCPs so quickly, though.
Yeah, because they're Tupac's helping them out. And then she makes it clear to like put some perspective here is that like a serial killer hasn't made it past their 3rd victim anywhere on Earth in the past 14 years because of Tupac.
Oh my god. That's crazy.
And like in that time, Tupac has made over like 40,000 individual tracks detailing all this shit. And like because of like Tupac's advice, like Site 515 in particular has just been running like super smoothly. Like everything, like the morale's high, everyone's having a good time listening to Tupac blasting aliens and shit. Oh, what the fuck? I got another phone call. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Okay. So anyway, yes, Site 515 running super smoothly under the guidance and influence of Tupac Shakur. What else? So, yeah, in this time, everyone in Site 15 sort of came like a silent understanding that the SCP doesn't just catch murderers and shit, but it directly and aggressively searches out anything that maliciously takes human life.
Damn.
Wait, so even like animals and shit and other SCPs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
Like, put a stop to that.
That's cool. Tupac a homie.
And then she also mentions how it pretty much like bullied the Foundation into putting its resources to like better use. So that's a funny thought.
Yep.
That's so cool.
And then yeah, also even though like everything's been like super productive, they like things have been like intellectually stagnant. They haven't really been like looking into like why the fuck this is happening. They just kind of accept Tupac giving them tips on like how to fight God and shit like that.
Bro, Tupac, I'm adding him to the party, bro. He's
Or Tupac's the ultimate villain and he's playing the SCP into their hands.
But
I don't believe that. Even if Tupac was a villain, I'm on his side. I'll be a villain then.
But yeah, so recently though, a researcher, Marija, last name, recently came across an unreleased interview with Shakur from the year 1994, about 2 years before he was shot dead, and then and like 3 years before the discovery of the SCP. And like this is notable because this interview was buried by his managers because like they were worried about his mental state while he was taking the interview. They said like he was speaking nonsense. So, and then she ends by like stating her main proposal, a Keter class object actively interested in aiding the human race isn't a Keter class object at all. And she decides to have it reclassified to a Thaumiel class SCP instead.
Nice.
So yeah, and then she attaches like the audio and we get a little transcript, pretty cool shit. So basically Tupac goes on, people ask me where I get my inspiration from. They say, how do you go so hard, put in that much work? But what they don't understand is, this is me taking a break. This is me on vacation. I think some people would say that was irresponsible, to sit back and be human for a while, be an artist, experience that. I can't be chasing the king all the time. I feel like I've been doing that forever, to protect you, all of you. He's not so big though, and you're not so small. But he's got to trick you like it doesn't matter because that's the only way he can keep it looking like he's the man, like he's some big bad evil motherfucker. You don't see that when I die, I'll live on. My death is my destiny, and then I become something else, what I was before. The voice will still shout, and it'll shout justice and poetry and art and music. I got you, humanity. When I eventually go toe-to-toe and brawl with this fool, he's going to gather up his little red dress and go home crying like a bitch. And he knows it. Evil knows its days are numbered, so the king's still running. The chase isn't over. Prepare, prepare, prepare.
What?
Okay, so basically...
Is that a real interview?
Amen.
So basically, this king he's referring to is like the big bad of the SCP universe, the Scarlet King, who like hates like progress and modernity, and he wants to return everything to chaos. So Tupac in his interview basically explains like him being Tupac is just like a side thing. He's like chilling right now.
What?
When he dies, he's gonna go back to beating this dude's ass.
Oh my god! So this whole time, Tupac was like the fucking
entity formerly known as Tupac Shakur.
So he is actually
Fucking with the
Tupac.
Scarlet King.
Like, it is Tupac on the disc, and this is his way of, like, helping everyone out.
But this implies that Tupac is some fucking interdimensional being.
Yeah.
So was he always this, or did this happen?
He was always this.
Yeah, he was always this. Tupac is his fucking side project.
He just decided to, like, be born and be Tupac for a bit.
Yeah, literally. What the fuck? what the fuck?
So, yeah, SCP-2137,
Dude's going
Thaumiel class,
Scarlet King,
the
bro.
forensic ghost of Tupac Shakur. This has been Shaka University. Eat shit, fall off your horse.
That was fucking way wild.
That was a great ending.
That was
Eat
awesome.
shit, fall off your horse.
Are we off camera now?